What's up YouTube, Danny here. I'm super excited. I'm about to head out and visit some family for Memorial Day weekend, and I'm taking you with me. Hey guys, stuck in traffic. Holiday weekend traffic is the worst, but I have a couple snack hack tips for you while you're traveling. So if you're like me, you like to snack and you don't have that many carbs to deal with, I like these stees. I don't know if you can see that, but I get them from Whole Foods. Some of them are lightly sweetened and some of them are 0 calorie. So right now I have a peach mango 0 calorie stees and it is awesome. It's at least filling, you know. And then my other little snack trip is these Vermont sticks. This one is ancho pepper turkey, and it's 3 fat, 9 protein, no carbs, so they're just good little snacks to have in the car. So if you have a Whole Foods near you, check them out. Alrighty, so it is a gorgeous day here in Connecticut, and we are headed to go get Rita's Italian ice. Pretty excited about it. It's a little warm, so ice slushies should be good. Let you know how they are. We've got Rita's ice, custard, and happiness. Remains to be seen. I have faith. Rita's was closed, which is unfortunate, so second stop is Dunkin' Donuts for a slushie. The quest for slushies continues. Next stop, 7-Eleven. Thoughts?
No thoughts.
No thoughts.
Just one ices.
Just one ices. And Chick-fil-A. The video.
Why?
I finally found the Slurpee machine. Okay, we finally made it and we got slushies. The typical cherry Coke, or no, cherry and Coke.
Cherry and Coke,
yeah. Cherry and Coke. So, finally, now we're gonna go to Costco and just...
And Chick-fil-A.
And Chick-fil-A and run around.
Anybody?
Oh my gosh, it's great. This one's for you, Mom. It's a video.
Oh, it's a video.
Yeah.
So I should talk.
Yeah, say hi.
Hey, Suze, hope you're jealous.
Hi, everyone. So I am hanging out at my uncle's house in Connecticut, and it is just absolutely gorgeous outside right now. Kind of see that weather. It's just beautiful out. I have not experienced gorgeous weather in a while, so it's pretty nice. But I'm going to sit down with him in a few minutes and we're going to talk about a reverse diet that he's been working on. He had a couple of goals that he's wanted to achieve in the past few months, some set by doctors, some set by himself, and as I've been working on my personal trainer certification and learning a lot about health and nutrition and going through some bodybuilding competitions and some other really cool things, he asked me for some help and some advice, and so we've been working on a reverse diet for him. So if you haven't heard about reverse dieting, I feel like it's something everybody should know about. It's so cool. It's not just for bodybuilders, it's not just for people who want to lose weight. I'm using a reverse diet right now, and it's for a bodybuilding purpose, and it works great for me, and it's worked great for a lot of other people. It depends on what you want to do. It does involve flexible dieting and counting your macronutrients. So if that's something that you want to do or that you're interested in, I highly suggest you look it up. Yeah, if you don't know much about it, then hopefully this will be kind of informative and help you figure out if this is something you might want to do for yourself or just look into more. It's a good, healthy lifestyle, and you can definitely lose weight by eating more calories or gain, some lean muscle mass and very little amounts of fat by trying to increase your calories slowly over time in the right proportions of fats, carbs, and proteins. So that's the very basic gist of it, but we'll dive a little bit deeper into it and into my uncle's case and see kind of what he has to say about it and how he's reacted to it and how it's helped him change his body composition and whether he would recommend it for other folks or not. So stay tuned. And we're rolling. Okay.
We are rolling.
First time on the webcam, everyone. This is good stuff. Okay, so I'm Danny, obviously, and I'm here with my Uncle Harry, and we are just going to talk a little bit about his reverse diet and how he got into it, what he was doing beforehand, and the other kind of diets that he's tried, and whether they have or haven't worked for him, and kind of just where we've gone and what his goals have been and how we've gotten where we're going and where we're still going from here. So,
Great.
You want to just take it away and kind of start from, I guess, where we started our talks in February.
Sure. So I've always done something like a modified Atkins diet when I needed to drop some weight. If I needed to drop 10 or 15 pounds or something like that. I hate when I get to the wrong side of 200 on the scale, as I like to say. So with the modified Atkins diet, I eat a lot of meats and cheeses and that sort of thing, but I cut way back in other areas, and I like to have a shake in the morning, so I have one of the Atkins shakes or EAS, Carb Advantage drink or something like that. And I could get to a certain point, and then I would plateau. And so I had told Danielle that I was having troubles with dropping the weight that I wanted. I had dropped the first 10, 15 pounds with ease and absolutely plateaued. And so she came up and visited me for the weekend, and she said, well, can I tell you what you're doing wrong? And I'm thinking, no, don't tell me. Keep it a secret. Yes, of course you can tell me what you're doing wrong.
I was going to tell you whether you wanted to hear it or not. So
I kind of figured you might.
That's what family's for.
Absolutely. So actually she pointed out that I was doing two things wrong. One is that I was really going into starvation mode with the diet that I was on. So I didn't mind skipping breakfast and skipping lunch, and with the Carb Advantage drinks, she figured out that I was doing about 700 calories a day. And with that, my metabolism was really shutting down. And so, yeah, I could lose the initial 10, 15 pounds, but then I was going to plateau every time and probably yo-yo right back up. The second thing is that I don't mind exercising. I don't mind walking. I don't mind swimming. And I can do either one. It feels like forever. So I can swim laps in the pool, and I'll swim for 45 minutes, and I figure that's about a mile of a swim. Or I'll go on the treadmill, and I set it with an incline of 6%, and I'll do the treadmill for 45 minutes, and that goes about 3 miles or so. And according to the treadmill, it's burning about 600 calories. But Danny pointed out to me that I really wasn't taxing my body by doing this because, as she said, I could have done that all day long. I could have done walking at that pace the entire day long. And when I'm traveling or something, steady state. So she said, well, you're spending about 45 minutes on the treadmill. How does it sound if I can get you off the treadmill in less than 10? And I said, well, that sounds awful. No, I thought it sounded great. So she had this idea for me that I should walk for a minute, then run for a minute, then walk for a minute, then run for a minute, and do a cycle of 3 of those and a cool down. And as I got comfortable with that, because I really wasn't a runner, I would walk for a minute, then run for a minute and a half, walk for a minute, run for a minute and a half, and essentially in about 8.5 minutes, I was done with a really good workout. So that was one piece that really helped me a lot. But the other part was the reverse diet. That involves macronutrients, and she's the expert on that.
I don't know if it's an expert, if I deserve the title of expert as of yet, but we're working on it. I actually started watching videos by the Macro Experiment and then Dr. Layne Norton. So Biolayne, check them both out. I'll link them in the description. But I started watching them because after my first couple bodybuilding shows, I just realized that having a steady set meal plan every day was not working for me. I could not stick to it, and I figured, well, what am I eating, and what can I replace with what I'm already eating so that I can have some more flexibility? So I started researching the term flexible dieting and macronutrient counting and figuring out what was in the foods I was eating and what I could replace those foods with so that I was more so enjoying what I was eating. So after probably maybe 4, 5, 6 months of just watching tons and tons of YouTube videos and reading little books on my Kindle at night and kind of learning what's a macronutrient, what's a carb, what's a fat, what's a protein, and figuring out what the calculations were for my body and for what I needed for me to get to where I wanted to be and it's always still a process. I'm still learning. I started to kind of get the hang of it and figured out what I wanted to do, and after my last 3 shows, I decided to take a break, really focus on just learning and seeing how playing with the macronutrients affected my body, and just figuring it out. And so I started using these calculations for some family members of mine, and they've actually worked really well. And so the process of the reverse diet, as I mentioned earlier, is figuring out where you are, what your normal daily amount of calories or your calorie expenditure is. So I would find out what he was actually eating and have him track what he was eating on an app such as like MyFitnessPal is what we use. So we tracked for a couple weeks, found out exactly what he was eating, kind of the average of the fats, the carbs, and the proteins. And then from there, we realized that he was eating high fat, high carb, very low protein. And so we started manipulating those macronutrients to get a little bit higher protein. And we noticed that after a couple weeks, after bumping up the protein and maintaining or slightly lowering the fats and the carbs, we saw a body composition change. How did that feel for you? Like, how long did you feel like it took to kind of notice that body composition change?
I think that only took about another 3 or 4 weeks, and I dropped another 10 pounds, and that was amazing to me. I also was able to feel full some of the time, and that was also amazing. So essentially I increased how much I was eating and was losing weight with it. So that's the reverse part of it.
Pretty awesome. There was at no point in time did we ever say, okay, well, you're eating too much and we've got to put you on a diet and cut down calories, because that's what doesn't work. Is people everywhere, they know how to diet, they know how to lose weight, but they don't know how to maintain keeping it off. And so that's where that yo-yo effect comes in. You drop 10 or 15 pounds, and then you say, okay, well, I can go back to my normal amount of calories. And then you do that, and your body is not ready for it. And so you put all that weight back on, and sometimes more. So with this reverse diet, where you slowly add those calories back in, you don't put on that excess amount of weight. Do you gain some weight? Yes, and that's okay, because you are increasing your calories, but you're doing it at a slow pace so that your body doesn't have so much change going on, and your metabolism can adapt as you're going through these changes. So I guess after you drop those 10 pounds, and we've been increasing, we started probably around like 1750 calories, I think, and now we're up to around 2,000. Almost 2,000 calories a day. And so I want to say you lost that 10 pounds, and we've kind of increased your weight a little bit more, but you were telling me yesterday that your clothes still fit the same.
Yep.
You know, your body composition hasn't changed since you initially lost that weight. So that is a good sign. So even though the scale has slowly gone back up a little bit, which is okay, the body composition that we wanted to achieve has slowly gotten there and maintained at that level. Which brings me to my next point, is your goal has slightly shifted because you want to go on a cruise in a couple of weeks. He's been telling me...
No, I don't want to. I am going.
Okay, he wants to, and he is actually going on a cruise in a couple of weeks. So his goal on this cruise is to be able to eat whatever you want.
That's my goal.
To eat whatever he wants.
I'm going to be in different countries. I've got to try the local cuisine. I've got to experience life.
Absolutely, and that's what it's about. You want to go enjoy your vacations and not leave for vacation and stress out about, oh my gosh, am I going off my diet plan? What am I going to do? I'm going to have to diet when I get back because I'm going to have gained all this weight. And by the fact that we're doing this reverse diet and slowly increasing calories, when he goes off of his diet and eats whatever he wants for a couple of weeks, this is not going to affect him as much as it would have when he's eating 2,000 calories a day as when he was eating 1,750 calories per day. So the reverse diet process helps with that. His body's not going to change as much. It might change a little bit, and that's okay. He's probably going to go enjoy a whole bunch of carbs and a whole lot of fats and be totally okay with it. But he's going to come back from his trip and just recognize that he's going to jump right back on his macros, and he'll go right back to where, maybe not right back, but he's going to slowly get back into where he wanted to be and jump back into his normal routine without that much of a change, since we've been increasing those calories.
But I think I've also gotten smarter about how I eat, and one of the things that I do is I eat a lot more chicken now. So I'll make some baked chicken, and I'll make 2 Pyrex dishes of baked chicken, and that'll serve me for almost a week for a bunch of meals. And I'm watching the macronutrients on the app, the MyFitnessPal. I'm watching them during the day, and I'm trying to figure out what I can eat. So the first 2 weeks of my supposed diet was eat whatever you want, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I wasn't,
diet ever.
Yeah, best diet ever, absolutely. Ice cream, milkshakes, whatever, but she got the baseline from that, and she saw how I really enjoy eating and the sorts of things that I like to consume. And she figured out a lot of nice substitutes. And so with that, I think even if I'm not able to log into MyFitnessPal while I'm away on this cruise, I'm going to be smarter about the choices that I make. I've always loved salads, so I'll make sure that I have a bunch of salads, lunch and dinner. But I'm going to pick more of the protein things. I'm going to pick more of the chicken and more of the beef and less of the pasta and less of the bread. It used to be that I would go down to the Bronx, I would go down to Arthur Avenue, and I would get a loaf of bread. Oh, I could eat the entire loaf of bread in one day.
I could still eat an entire loaf of bread. It might not sit right, but I would enjoy it.
No, but I know that that's the sort of thing that I like. I love pasta, I love bread. I can still have them. I'm smarter about it. I'm having more of a balance. I make sure that I have a little bit. So I'll have a piece or 2 pieces of bread, but not a loaf of bread.
Yeah, and that's one of I think the best things about flexible dieting and counting your macronutrients. It's definitely not for everybody, but it is for a lot of people, I think. And I'm not a registered dietitian. Disclaimer here, I don't prescribe meal plans. I'm not telling anybody what to eat, but based on my ACE personal trainer certification training and just some other knowledge I've gathered through my fitness career, I've been able to figure out, well, what's this calculation that we utilize to figure out the daily amount of calories that we need, and how many calories are we expending, and what's the average for this person based on their height, their age, their weight, their type of energy expenditure, and their fitness levels. And so without telling him at all, not once, what to eat, I was able to give him a certain amount of fats, carbs, and proteins that are pretty close to what he was already eating, and say, eat within these numbers, eat whatever you want as long as they fit within these numbers. And he's been able to do it. It's definitely, I don't think, easy, and it probably took you a couple weeks to really get the hang of it.
It definitely took a couple of weeks, because I would think that I knew what I was supposed to do. And so I would eat the right amounts, or not the right amounts. I would eat, quote unquote, the right foods, but not necessarily the right amounts. And I would eat too much of something, and I would wind up with too many proteins one day and too many carbs another day. And one of the things that I finally figured out was, before I actually have the meal, I enter things into the fitness app and I look at the numbers then, and then I can adjust the portions before it's already in my body.
That's key.
Yeah.
Prepping, a little bit of prep work here and there. So it's definitely not easy, but it definitely it helps you to understand your body and how you react to different types of food, what you really need, what you crave, what keeps you full, when you need carbs, when you need fats. You learn all these things just by knowing what you eat. And it's crazy, because I mean, I'd say probably until the last year, and probably until the past couple months for you, we probably just ate whatever we wanted when we felt like we were hungry.
Yes, we did.
And never really thought about it. And it's crazy. And I think I learn more and more about my body and how I react to things every day just by eating and by looking at the nutrition labels. And a nutrition label used to be a code to me, and I would look at it and be like, whatever. Now it means so much, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then the second half of the formula that you gave me was the high-intensity interval training.
That's right.
So now I can use the treadmill every day for 8.5 minutes. It doesn't make me late for work. If I want to swim, I try to do the same sort of thing in terms of an intense burst, as opposed to just, swimming at a leisurely pace and swimming for forever, but not really burning anything up. It doesn't shift my metabolism unless I get into the high intensity. Yeah,
and it's, again, high intensity is definitely not for everyone either. We're not prescribing this for anybody, so consult your physician if that's something you think you might want to do, but you're not sure if your body can handle. It's all about getting your heart rate up to however high you can handle it, and then bringing it back down. And it's a balance there as well, but it definitely, getting your heart rate up helps your metabolism and helps you be able to burn off more calories overall, because the higher your heart rate is, the more carbohydrate calories you're burning and the less fat calories you're burning, but the more overall total calories you're burning. So higher heart rate, more calories burned.
And one of the things that I like about using the treadmill is that I can kick it up a notch. So I can speed it up, I can change the incline. Danny has me using dumbbells now while I'm walking. I'm using the dumbbells, and that also is just changing the intensity and changing the amount of work that my heart is doing for that.
Awesome. So overall, I think we've seen some really good changes and really good progress, and there's a lot more to be had, but that's life. We're always continuing to learn, and our goals always change. So I think you're going to continue to eat more as the weeks progress until that cruise, and then we'll reassess when you come back.
Alrighty.
Awesome. Any last words for the YouTubers?
No, just thank you, Danny, with YE.
Anytime. The Y is silent, just so you know. Alright, thanks guys for watching, and we will catch you later. Yeah. Bye.
Everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this vlog, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to comment below with any questions you might have about reverse diets or flexible dieting. And let me know if you enjoyed this and you want to see more. It wasn't intended to give a step-by-step instruction on reverse or flexible dieting, but more so to show that the science behind these things can work for more than just bodybuilders. So again, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed everything, and we will see you next time.